shark, doo 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 doo, mommy shark, doo 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 doo, mommy shark, doo 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 doo, mommy shark. Daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark.
Let's keep our hands to ourselves.
Whoa, you can look at them right there wanting to be petted.
Oh my goodness. Not exactly so. It's been very gentle. Just like that.
Shark.
You have now pet a shark.
This is Compass Key Marina, home to the famous nurse sharks that are so tame and friendly they eagerly await to have their heads scratched. What?
See? That, wow. See, come look at the food. Oh yeah.
We were a little bit reluctant to let our 2-year-old pet a shark, but we couldn't pass up the opportunity. We were there for over an hour. We couldn't get this little girl to leave. Maddie has a mild obsession with sharks that comes from the animated shark song that invades the nightmares of all parents. And it was clearly a highlight of our trip so far. Other places that we had been to along the way in our travels down the Exuma Island chain were O'Brien's and Cambridge Key. There we spent a lot of time underwater looking at fish and playing on more of the deserted beaches. Okay, what do you want to do? Yet another beach that we have all to ourselves with totally untouched sand. This is a playground for a toddler like no other place on earth. Our next stop was Compass Key and Pipe Creek. Okay, so we are exploring the Decca Station ruins. When we were sailing over here, we thought this might be a nice spot for an anchorage. I had a different idea of what a ruin on the map was going to be than the reality of this, so we moved on, but looking forward to seeing what this place is all about. Will just told me that he read a review that sometimes people like to tie up along this wall, but that to be careful because it can be ratty, i.e. there are rats running around. You heard it here first. If you are thinking of coming here, do not stay here. Go around, you know, another mile and use your anchor. because this place is kind of interesting for a little visit, but around the corner is paradise. We spent a couple of days here relaxing, making friends with windsurfers, and enjoying our own little slice of heaven. Our next stop was Staniel Key. It was time to show Maddie the famous swimming pigs. Hi, little piggies. Hi, little piggies. Okay. Ironically, we were more afraid of the pigs biting her than we were the sharks, and wouldn't let her touch them. Hey.
Shouldn't have any food. Yeah.
She lasted about 5 minutes before she decided she had seen enough livestock and was more interested in skipping rocks with her dad. The next few days in Staniel were glorious. All right, let's go get some pizza.
Yeah, big day off.
Woo.
No boat projects.
Okay, sketchiest part of date night right now. The rocks. The weather was perfect. Will tried in vain to catch us dinner. Dinner?
No dinner. No lionfish, but it was a good healthy reef.
Good. While Maddie and I played endlessly on the beaches.
Welcome to Cruiser Beach. It's actually called Cruiser Beach.
Really?
Yeah. According to this table anyway.
Just got done shopping. I have a small bag of groceries. In it are some eggs, a loaf of bread, milk, some juice, some cold cuts, flip-flops for Will because he lost his, and a few veggies, some cheese. Total grocery bill, $91. Kraft singles, which I clearly shouldn't have gotten, but I thought they'd be cheap, were $11 for a 25 pack. So, yeah.
Yeah, each lightning bolt breaks the sound barrier and creates a boom. So I think we found the catch in the Exumas that makes it not quite a perfect cruising ground, at least in the wintertime. Our first couple weeks in the Exumas, we had basically perfect weather. It was either light or out of the east, for which there's lots of protection in the Exumas. Basically all the anchorages, or most of the anchorages, are well protected from any east wind or northeast wind, but it's much harder to come by anchorages that provide west protection, particularly if you have a deeper draft like we do at 6 feet. And now, in the last few days, we've had 2 fronts back to back with pretty strong east wind. Like right now, we're sort of mid-20s up to 30 knots or so. We've been having that since the middle of the night, and that's going to last through the day. But then tomorrow, another front comes through, but this one is actually going to cause the wind to veer all the way around to the west and then northwest and blow hard for 2 days. So the question is, where do we go? What do we do? Because right now in this anchorage, I've counted 40 other boats, and there won't be a single one of these boats still here tomorrow, and they've all got to go somewhere. So we're all kind of competing for the same limited resource of west protected anchorages. So right now we're at Big Major's spot, also known as Swimming Pig Beach. So great for east protection, northeast protection, but as soon as the west wind starts blowing, it's going to be mayhem in here. So we've got to find our protection potentially in this cut between the majors, or we go back north 10 miles and we could take this sort of intricate path into Compass Key and an anchor inside of Pipe Creek. The problem is both Compass Key and between the majors will still, if we go today while it's still blowing hard out of the east, they're probably going to be pretty surgy as all of the waves off the sound come into the cuts. But maybe that's just what we have to deal with. Or we wait until first thing in the morning and just hope for the best that there's space whenever we get to these anchorages. I'm not really thrilled about either option. This is just a lot different than Eastern Caribbean sailing when you, barring a hurricane, you always know where the wind is coming from. I decided that I would take the safer, sure bet by going back between the majors where Cat hates, but at least we know we can get a spot. It'll be safe, might be a little surgy, but it'll be safe, and it's right there. It's only 2 miles away. That's what we're doing here at 6:30 in the morning.
Will goes, Cat, time to get up. And I'm like mid-dream, and he comes in and he is like, I'm calling an audible, and I'm like, oh God, what are we doing? Are we about to sail to Georgetown? And I'm like, okay, we're just going 2 miles. It's all right, Mr. Anxious Weatherman.
So you'll notice there's still about 35 of the 40 boats at Big Majors. So clearly everybody else is deciding to sleep in, have coffee, eat some bacon, instead of rushing off to find a spot for westerly protection. So maybe I'm overthinking this, but you know, I don't want to be the last man standing in an open anchorage.
No, it's the right move.
With the waters all swirling around here, it's not apparent what is a barely submerged rock and what's a channel. If we hadn't already done this before, it would, in good light, it would be a little bit unnerving. I'm gonna end up to about 75 or so.
Okay, and I'd like to put our anchor spot and monitor it, because I'm just a little iffy. Alright, let's make Daddy some coffee.
We have been here 2 hours and 30 minutes.
How many more boats are already here?
Probably 8 more boats already, and there's like a steady stream of them coming in now. I guess that, so we were the 7th boat. I bet we end the day with 25 boats here.
The anchorage started to fill up, but not nearly with as many boats as we expected. After the blow, we went back to our old anchorage to see if it had cleared out as predicted, and we were shocked to see that there were still over 20 boats that had decided to stay through the night. The sun is out, winds are down, people are off their boats for the first time all day and congregating here on Cruisers Beach. a lot of boats braved the night. We've heard conflicting reports on how bad it was, from the cat saying it was bad to the monohull saying at first light we came to the beach to camp because we couldn't be on our boat a second longer. But it's turned into a bit of a party tonight here on Cruisers Beach. Maddie's making friends with cute little French-Canadian babies, and we're having a nice time. Okay, so now we have come to the hilarious point in our story where one blow has passed, not enough boats moved. Blow number 2 is coming tonight, and every boat is frantic. It's 5:15, and this anchorage went from 7 boats when we got here 3 days ago. Today it had maybe 40 this morning. Now it's over 50, and the charter boats are coming in full swing. So all the boats who've been here since the morning, since yesterday, the day before, are all staking their claim, and so many people are out protecting their spots. People are dinghying, trying to tell the charter boats where to go, where not to go, more importantly, to not anchor on top of their anchor. And it is pandemonium. Pandemonium. Whoa, that's a good one.
Can you count them? Starting at the smallest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Start at the smallest. What number is that?
2.
We start counting from 1. 1 is the first number. So count from here.
1,
Don't skip over.
2,
That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you try. Starting with the smallest, you try.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6.